creativity knows no bounds. But stupidity, ignorance, and nonsense guised as creative thinking can turn into a disaster. Formerly renowned quote intellectuals and quote economists of the Congress era came up with a 7-point agenda to deal with the economic crisis post-coronavirus pandemic. And it was then that creativity and stupidity had a baby together. A baby they dared to name as Mission Jai Hind. It starts with a demand to bring back all the migrants home within 10 days. Wishful thinking is based on what might be pleasing to imagine but has no correlation with rationality or reality. How else do you come up with an arbitrary figure of 10 days? Logistical possibilities, statistical data, progression of the virus, or just plain old wishful thinking? Well, we'll never be able to understand how the insides of the brains of these geniuses work. Next, they call for standing up with the COVID patients and frontline workers. Right after weeks of mocking and disdaining the PM's innumerable calls to stand in solidarity with our corona warriors. The glaring hypocrisy aside, the ignorance is what is more staggering. Hospital beds, ventilators, PPEs, medical cover for health workers, and much more. Name it, and they've already been taken care of. But since they are, quote, intellectuals prided by the Congress, they can be excused for living under a rock, or at least pretending to be doing so. No one goes hungry. What to make of it when the quote Kagaz Nahi Dikhayenge gang and anti-Aadhaar gang does a U-turn on their older misinformation campaign to further their present misinformation campaign? Political convenience is a suitable word here. Massive food grain allocations for the poor have already been made under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. The needy are being fed. But will the government be able to fill the bellies of those who have been in a perennial state of denial? That's the question. Jobs for everyone. You'd expect something similar from a stereotypical beauty pageant. I wish the world was free of poverty. I wish people had more jobs. I wish I was the president of the galaxy. As these guys were busy powdering up their noses, they seem to have missed the memo on the slew of measures carved out by the government to develop a more self-reliant workforce. A self-reliant workforce that won't have to rely on handouts or dated Congress-era schemes to survive. Income for everyone. This one's peculiar because it's derivative. Subsidy to hawkers, ex gratia payment to disabled widows, old people, and compensation to farmers. Almost every item in this list is a rehashed version of what was already announced under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. However, the figures against each of them in this version are of course outputs of combined wild imaginations. No interest till economy revives. Surprisingly, these are the same people who often express their grave concerns for the economy's backbone, our banks. But what they are suggesting here is next to crushing, paralyzing, and fracturing the spine of our economy. All of this comes with no proposals whatsoever on how they are planning to revive the banks after a long stretch of zero interest collections. Whatever it takes. All resources with citizens to be treated as national resources. Yes, you heard it right. Cash, real estate, property, bonds, everything. These geniuses want everything a citizen has ever owned in his personal capacity to be treated as national property. Those who held long protests to quote, save the democracy, now want a totalitarian confiscation of all private properties. Well, as absurd as it can be, this is the real face of your saviors of freedom. These flag bearers of democracy will turn into its pallbearers at the first chance they get, which reminds me of a famous quote from a legendary Hollywood character where I'd like to conclude.